Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, traders from across the globe, and welcome to the 1256th edition of Short-Term Trading Live with Oscar. Good evening, traders. I wanted to present you with a very quick video, so I'm going to do one of these Camtasia shoots where I record the screen because markets are moving quickly, and I wanted to show you the new set of analysis that's out there. As we know, futures trading can be extremely risky and can cause substantial financial loss, and futures trading is not suitable for all trading accounts. Traders, what you are about to see is the opinion of a 33-year analyst and trader who grew up down on the trading floors in New York City. So, here we are. What's in store for trading on Thursday? Well, I'd hate to say it, but right now we've got an arrow pointing straight down, traders. We've got a red OMNI starting off this day on Thursday. That's December 11, 2014. We're starting off with the OMNI pointing straight down, and let's look at a couple of things. What we're looking at right now is the Dow Jones Industrial Average Daily Bar, and you know, this is one of my infamous F flags, and we've been in this F flag, if you will, for a long, long time. Traders, if you remember, I've told you time and time again that the reason why I spent 2 years qualifying this flag, and I dubbed it an Oscarism, the F flag. And the reason why I call it an F flag is because at the end of the F flag's life, we usually get F'd. And we've been F'd by the F flag. That always happens at the end of its life. There is no way to qualify how long it will last. But look at all the great trading we did inside this F flag. So bravo for the F flag, but we have been F'd. But it's not over, traders. Let's look at everything out there. Now we are going to shift out to the weekly Dow Jones bar chart. When you look at the weekly, we've got to look at it and say this. There's a little room to dip a bit more, but that's likely all that this will be. Why do I say that? Traders, this line goes all the way back where I can't even show you on this chart. And we have held here, and 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 then we had a breakthrough. Will we hold on the pullback that we're getting to this line? Likelihood is yes. Why? This is a booming bull market, traders. Look at it. I mean, it is a booming bull market. There's no reason why another pullback, just like this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, wouldn't hold right here. So that being said, one more question before we move on. Since all of these, and look, dip, 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 another dip, a dip, a dip. Each one of these dips have been considered buying opportunities, right? Buying opportunity was this dip. A 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 buying opportunity was this dip. My question to you is this. What makes this dip a warning sign? You know what I mean? Ask yourself that. What would make this a warning sign? That being said, we're day traders. Let's move on. So we're looking at the weekly. Now we will go and take a look at a few more charts I think you will find interesting. Dow Jones Transportation Average. Let's go look there. This one, you know, absolutely not good when you break a previous low. This is what I mean. It's all right to have this kind of a low, rally up, come down. Not good that we broke this low here. Then we went up, made a lower high, so follow me here. We rallied up here and broke. Okay, so we have a low in. It didn't take out this little low here. It went up, it came down a little, no problem. We rally up and put in a new high, but then it breaks and puts in a lower low. Rallies up and puts in a lower high, breaks down and puts in a lower low. So what I'm trying to say is we went lower than this low, not a good sign. Then we rallied up, but we then came down and went lower than this low. Right now we're down here. Not always a good sign when you break the previous lows. So there's your Dow Jones Transportation Average, but we're going to continue to look at other charts because there's a weekly here. In fact, we'll skip that because there's a better chart for you. We'll go back to a daily. Let me show you this one. I like this one even better. Let's go to the Nasdaq. Looks scary when we look at the indices. No doubt that this looks scary. You're looking at the Nasdaq, and by the way, we're now trading H15, the March contract, not the Ds. Looks scary. We've come out of this channel, or F flag, if you will. We were in it for quite some time, came out of it, and of course the market gets F'd. That's what we'd expect from it. So now we're down here. Looks terrible, wouldn't you say? You go out to a weekly, and then you go, you know what? I don't know, Oscar. I think this is still pretty solid looking. What would make me say that? Well, you basically just need to get down to about here and find legs like you did here, like you should do inside of this channel. So for now, it behaved so well in this channel. It goes all the way back to 2008. Look at this, how far back this channel goes. We stayed inside this channel for a long time on the weekly. Now we've broken into a new one. The weeklies still look solid. What would make this dip any different than the rest of the dips? I don't think anything. So we will look at that, and then we will pull back to a daily and go look at the EMini SP, another very interesting chart. The March, don't forget, we're trading now as of today. EMini SP chart. I have what I like to call a line in the sand area for trading on Thursday. The S&P has already broken. It broke down lower than what would have been a two-day rule, day one, day two. It didn't work, the two-day rule. We went even lower. So now we have this line in the sand area where you should not take this area out. If, in fact, we do drop and take this area out, then some difference is taking place. But I don't think that's what's happening, traders. I think this is simply going to be a repricing of the markets because of the dollar index, and you'll understand as we move forward. So here's your daily S&P. Not looking great on the daily, but there's a line in the sand area. Let's see what it does. Then we have the weekly, and this is the one that I find most interesting. Look at this weekly chart right here. Here's why I think that we need to sit tight with this weekly chart and not get nervous. This is a long, long trend line. It goes back for quite some time. It holds, the first time I have a number one back in 2012. It holds a second time. It holds a third time. It holds a fourth time. It holds a fifth time. It holds a sixth time. It holds a seventh time. It finally has a breakthrough once. So right now we're on 7 wins, 1 loss, and 1 in question. What will happen when the S&P gets to this line? The odds are very, very good that the same thing that happened each and every time we hit this, it was simply another buying opportunity. Traders, this is a big, booming bull market, not a buying opportunity until it dipped further, but this line is what we're talking about, and every other one of these opportunities have been buying opportunities, or these dips turned into buying opportunities. So this looks solid right now. I wouldn't worry too much about it. We break down through here. We'll talk about it. But first, let's get down here. You know, that's down to 1999. Don't worry about it yet. Let's see where we're going to go before we tell the market that this dip is the real one, the real top, and none of these were. So before we start calling top, let's not get nervous. 7 wins, 1 loss, 1 in question. That's your EMini SP. Now we're going to move to something else. Here's your DAX, the German DAX, the weekly bar. Is this going to be a double top? This could be a little bit troublesome for us. Now I'm showing you why we're absolutely starting with the red OMNI. Well, that should be red. Starting with the red OMNI for trading on Thursday, because looking at these charts, nothing here tells me we should be doing any buying at the onset of trading on Thursday. So, of course, we start off with the red OMNI for the downside. Is this going to be a double top? Well, it very well could be. And if so, you're coming down at least to this line. That's your DAX. You've noticed in Europe, if the DAX moves, all the markets are moving with it. Traders, come on down to livewithoscar.com to my free chat room where I can show you these charts in more detailed form, the way I handle the trades and take my crowds through. But anyway, right now we're just observing to see if this is a double top. We are not condemning the DAX and calling this a double top. We are observing to see if it is. In fact, last time we thought we might have had one, you had this top here, you had this top here, and it blasted off much, much higher before coming down. So let's not count out the DAX by any means. until we see exactly what we end up with. We do have a red OMNI. We will be selling S&P and Nasdaq at the onset of trading. But let's see what's going to happen. Is it going to be selling for more than just a repricing due to the dollar? We're going to find out. In fact, let's go look there now. The dollar index, traders. I believe we are looking at nothing more than a repricing. And let's see if we can pull that back again. I believe we are looking at nothing more than a repricing, if you ask me, of these markets because of the dollar index. That is what should be coming our way. This dollar chart should come up any second, and I'd like to show you because it's a very, very interesting chart. If in fact the chart doesn't come up, we can end the video here, and I will bring that chart back in and connect it to this video. In any event, let me just put this on pause and see what I can do. Traders, the dollar index on the weekly bar, and here is what I am seeing. This could very well be a double topping area finally after all of this rally on the weekly bar, and I'm talking from 78 all the way to 89, if not 90. Big, big move. But up here is a top. Come all the way across, and you're reacting towards that top. So if that's what's going on, what we're going to get is a repricing of our markets, not a crash by any means. I just showed you a bunch of charts that should make you realize we could come off on the dailies and maybe a week, but we're not going to crash here. Big booming market in the EMini SP. This is December. We'll talk about that. But right now, could be a double top in your dollar index on the weekly. If the dollar comes off even a little, as you've seen all the other markets go like this. They don't know what to do. That will go away. The dollar will decouple from our markets if it starts to come off. This is not the first year I've been watching markets, traders. 33 years deep, I kid you not. If the dollar needs to go lower, the stock market can surely go higher without it. So this is what I think it is. This is simply a repricing coming over our stock market and other markets because the dollar is putting in huge volatility up here and starting to come off. It will decouple from the stock market. There'll be a repricing and back towards the upside we should go. That's what I would expect. Back off to the EMini SP for a moment. Traders, the EMini SP, this very same chart again on the weekly. Remember, it's all right if we back off to this line. It's held so many times before it. This is a big, big, booming bull market. Look at it. It is not just ready to pack it in yet. You've got fantastic numbers coming out of the U.S. You've got gasoline prices, the cheapest they've been in so many years. People absolutely are saving money. They will spend that money on Christmas. That will show up in the reports for January. You will see it. Don't count this market out. If, in fact, it decides to break and comes all the way down, of course, we'll deal with it. We are shorting it today as it is for Thursday. But I am here to say, just do not fall too much in love with the downside. Traders, come on down to livewithoscar.com. And always remember when you're trading in these markets, keep your emotions out of trading. One of the best things I can do is tell you to say this to yourselves if you want to keep your emotions at bay. Say this to yourselves every morning, every afternoon, every evening, and you know what that is. Stops are in. Emotions are out. Traders, I'll see you at livewithoscar.com.